As the incessant march of authoritarianism crosses the country, goose-stepping its way to every major blue city in the country, they find themselves in two new cities this weekend. Feds marched into downtown Chicago. Top border agent says people are being arrested based on how they look. Isn't that fitting? Got the Trump building in the background of this picture. Hey, not all of them are masked up. Some of them are wearing cowboy hats. So I guess that should be some kind of solace to us. U.S. Border Patrol agents wearing tactical gear, looking like they're about to invade fucking Fallujah, and carrying long guns make arrests in downtown Chicago and the River North neighborhood Sunday. This is not making anybody safer. It shows an intimidation, Governor J.B. Pritzker said. Dozens of federal agents took individuals into custody during a windy patrol Sunday through downtown Chicago. Look at them just marching down Michigan Ave, man, looking for brown folk. I guess they're arresting a whole bunch of delivery service drivers through downtown Chicago, and a top U.S. Border Patrol official told WBEZ the agents were arresting people based on how they looked. Tell me that doesn't look as fascist as fuck, man. Seriously. The agents clad in military-style fatigues. Yeah, really, seriously. This is like camo. Why are you wearing camo in the middle of a street? It makes you stand out even more. The agents clad in military-style fatigues roamed past some of Chicago's most well-known landmarks on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. The highly visible show of force came just 3 days after Border Patrol boats carrying armed officials appeared on the Chicago River. It's like they're storming the beach at fucking Normandy, arriving on boats. My God, man. The fanfare of fascism is just fucked up. Gregory Bovino, commander-at-large of the border force, I guess this butch dude right here who is pretending like he's not a fucking power bottom, contrast the people being arrested with a white WBEZ reporter saying agents considered a person's appearance before taking them into custody. Quote, there's many different factors that go into something like that, Bovino said. It would be agent experience, intelligence. That guy's got intelligence. Seriously? Intelligence that indicates there's illegal aliens in a particular place or location. I have like a spidey sense and I can smell them. That's why we're going right down the middle of Michigan Avenue. Then obviously the particular characteristics of an individual, how they look compared to, say, you, white man. He said to the reporter, a tall middle-aged man of Anglo descent. Jesus. Bovino, who brought his Operation at-Large deportation campaign from California to Illinois. It's a tour. They're having a good time. They're on tour. This month made the comments about 3 weeks after United States Supreme Court said federal agents could continue stopping people based on factors including race and language during the campaign in California. So stop and frisk. Hey, we're just stopping you. Well, at least with stop and frisk, they would stop you and ask you a couple of questions. These guys are just snatching you off the street and putting you in the back of a van, asking you questions later, maybe. Chicago has been on edge ever since Donald Trump floated the idea of sending National Guard troops into the city in August. Though he never followed through, Sunday's immigration patrols may have given him the photo opportunity he's been looking for. Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker responded on social media by noting the officers appear to be carrying large weapons around downtown Chicago in camouflage and masks. This is not making anybody safer. It is a show of intimidation, instilling fear in our communities, and hurting our businesses.
ICE go home! ICE go home! ICE go home! ICE go home! ICE go home!
Good for you. Good for you people. Fucking fascist, man. Fascist on tour, folks. Why are you wearing masks, hon? You don't want anybody to identify you? See what kind of fascist you are, just in case we have the American version of the Nuremberg trials? Because ultimately, that is what we all want to see. We all want to see these guys doing that shit. I wanted to continue with this. This is what's going on in Portland, Oregon. What's the violent is what I want you to think about. Who's being violent here? What group looks like the one who's bringing the violence? I don't know if I'm going to get copyright struck on this music that's playing. I should probably put it on mute, but I mean, these guys are now filling up Portland streets, and Donald Trump is saying, oh, the violence in Portland. What they are trying to do here, ultimately, is send their Gestapo to these cities and then have the protesters come out to protest them, which they should. Americans should be protesting against this fascism. And then that will be the precursor to sending the military because, hey, there's protests. So it's violence. They're radical left-wingers. They're potential Antifa. And we need to go after them because of this new directive that I just signed into law that anybody that we deem as a future possible terrorist, we're going to go after you. So it's literally the same playbook that they did in LA. And now they're doing it in Chicago and they're doing it in Portland. And Portland's like, we don't need you here. Oregon sues Trump administration to block this shit. I don't know how well they're going to do about it. I mean, I think Gavin Newsom had a little bit of luck, but ultimately they got their photo op. I mean, it just looks like just straight up fucking Nazi shit here. And yeah, that looks like a danger. They're out there making signs. Donald Trump is like, see all the signs? Those are professionally made signs. George Soros must have paid them to come out. There's no way that these Americans would ever come out to protest against the American government and ICE. There's no way that they would do this. They got paid. Somebody's paying them. I mean, you're telling on yourself. You're saying that you wouldn't do this shit if you weren't getting paid for it. But these people are people of conscience, and that's the reason why they're out there protesting. What does the governor say?
Of Oregon believe in the rule of law, and we can manage our own local public safety needs. There is no insurrection. There is no threat to national security, and there is...
What they're talking about is people protesting a federal building where ICE is taking detainees and putting them in there and they're getting protested. Same thing that happened in LA. And then they send in the military. So, I mean, you are relying on a really shitty media who's not covering this stuff. And then when they do cover it, it's very lackluster. And a Republican Party who is not holding Donald Trump's feet to the fire. They're basically letting him do whatever the hell he wants to. And Donald Trump says, there's crime in your city. I'm sending in the military. They have their own cops, man. They have their own state officials that handle this shit. But Donald Trump is using it as an excuse to send in the military, and he's doing it. Even if the governors say, we don't want you here, we don't need you here, please stop sending your military on American soil, for God's sakes. It's against the Constitution. Posse comitatus, it does not matter. Donald Trump wiped his ass with the Constitution years ago.
No need for military troops in our major city. Military service members should be dedicated to real emergencies. The members of the Oregon National Guard, their mission is to stand up and protect Oregonians, and they will do that every day, but they are not needed in the city. They are not needed here.
Anyway, they got cops, but it doesn't really matter. Donald Trump wants to send the military, so he's going to use any excuse he wants to. Now, I wanted to show you a little bit of the whole, who's being violent here. We've got protesters on one side, and we've got the ICE thugs on the other side. They're outside protesting another ICE detention facility, which they have every right to do because in America, we have freedom of speech. We're supposed to, and we have freedom of protest. Anyway, tell me who you think is the violent one here. They're shooting pepper balls at these people. We got a smoke canister out. Somebody picks up a smoke canister. The guy there with the Captain America shield, he picks up the smoke canister and throws it back in there. And unarmed dude with a plastic Captain America shield is now attacked by a half a dozen ICE officials, and they beat the fuck out of him. You don't fuck with ICE, right? Is that how it goes? You don't fuck with ICE? They're just shooting at people with these pepper balls. They don't care. Who's the violent one here? Seriously, who's the violent one? I wanted to show you something else too. This one is actually pretty amazing. This is just one of those protesters running away from these guys. This guy's a protester. He's not an illegal. He's an American probably, getting thrown to the ground. 4, 5, 6. People filming and they're getting shot with pepper ball pellets. Look at this guy here in the back. Watch him turn around.
Your name and date of birth.
Look at that. Look at that dude. Look at that fucking dude right there. Look at this guy. I guess the ICE training is not high stakes, is it? This guy's gut done lapped over his belt. Just anybody that needs a fucking job, man, I guess. This has become socialism for right-wing fascists. This is what happens when militia, the 3%ers or, the Proud Boys, they needed a job. Now they get to mask up and put on some fatigues and some camo and go out arrest people. But I want you to look at this guy right here in the back. Watch this dude as he turns around.
Your name and date of birth.
Look at him. Just witnesses, just shooting him. He's having a great time, just shooting at everybody.
Your name and date of birth. Call Henry. Call
Get back, do not impede. Do not interfere. Do not interfere.
Look at these fat bastards,
We'll be
man.
arrested if you interfere.
Safe distance.
All right, everyone. All pedestrians will move outside the road or you'll be arrested for impeding. All pedestrians will move out.
I mean, look at these dudes. Look at these out of shape, fat bastards. It's like anybody who wants a job and wants a big government job, making $50,000 bonuses, forgiving student loan debt, all of the stuff that left-wingers are like, hey, can we get a good government job? Can we, have some student debt forgiven? Can we actually get paid a living wage? Only if you turn fascist and go arrest brown people. Just look at these guys, man. This is the superior American race?
Outside the road now or you will be arrested for impeding. Let's move them out.
Fuck you guys. And they're all using unmarked vehicles. So, I mean, if you're jacked up like you're about to invade a foreign country in all your military gear and your long rifles, why aren't you driving down the street in military vehicles? Why do you have to have these unmarked vehicles? Because you don't want to get protested, because you don't want anybody pointing out that you look like a fucking fascist. You're trying to be incognito about it. Who's the fascist? Speaking of which, this was a recording. I don't know who it was. I think it was a cop's, what do they call them? The security cameras that they wear accidentally caught this. This is a Border Patrol agent talks about how he knows that people he's arresting at the nutrition bar factory in New York are literal street rats who would eat our kids. So, I mean, just dehumanizing everybody that they arrest, calling them animals, calling them rats. Sounds like what the Nazis used to call people. They called them vermin. They're calling them rats. Same shit, different day.
There's countries like Brazil and other places where they're literal street rats at a very young age and they're committing crimes. And then they come here. I don't know if you have kids, but they'll eat our kids for breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
So they're coming from Brazil and they're literal street rats, and then they come to this country and now they're going to eat our children. I mean, it's literally the same shit that Nazis used to say about the Jews. They have horns and they're coming to eat your kids. This happened last week, and this, I didn't get a chance to talk about it. It is so goddamn disturbing. I hate showing it to you, but I wanted to make sure that I got it out there. There's an old man who owns a car wash. His employees, his immigrant employees with documentation, all get arrested by ICE. And this guy, this 80-year-old American man, says, hey, they've got paperwork. Then ICE not only knocks him to the ground, but then let me just show you the video. It's way disturbing.
Detained.
Tonight, he's speaking out about his injuries and why he says the agents went too far.
Carlos Salcedo live in Van Nuys with the story you'll see only on 5. Carlos.
Yeah, Micah, share everything unfolded at this car wash behind me here in Van Nuys. The 80-year-old U.S. citizen says he wasn't trying to intervene, simply get answers. That's when armed masked men turned their attention towards him, leaving him badly injured.
You can see my arm.
That could be your grandpa. That could be my grandpa. Look what they did to this man. This is an 80-year-old man. 80 years old. What kind of fucking animals are you?
They threw me on the footage, all black.
Rafi Shoehead shows us the injuries he sustained, including a dislocated elbow after his business was raided by federal immigration officials.
There he is right there in the red shirt saying, hey, these guys have paperwork. Let him go.
Last week, surveillance video shows as the 80-year-old car wash owner gets shoved to the ground.
Did you see that? I mean, this guy coming in after an immigrant like he is chasing down a fucking murderer. Get out of my way. Don't fuck with ICE, and knocks him down. You need to see that again. Just the body check. It's just insane.
Surveillance video shows as the 80-year-old car wash owner gets shoved to the ground by a masked agent as he's running down a narrow hallway. Rafi says he didn't know what was going on, and when he came to the defense of one of his employees outside Valley Car Wash in Van Nuys, an unidentified officer pushes him back before throwing him to the ground as backup arrives.
They grabbed one of my guys, and I told him, hold on, most of these people, they have a paper, we have documentation here. And the only thing they said is, you don't F with the ICE. You
don't fuck with ICE. Fuck you, you don't fuck with ICE.
Here. And they throw me on the floor, and 3 of them, they jumped on me and they were sitting on me.
Rafi says 5 of his employees were...
Look. They're doing that fucking George Floyd move. Slam an 80-year-old man to the ground and put their fucking jackbooted thug on his neck. God damn, man. God damn.
Detained by ICE that Tuesday morning. He requested medical attention after being roughed up with a heart condition. But instead, he was placed in handcuffs and taken to the Metropolitan Detention Center in downtown LA.
I was asking them, let me talk to somebody. I need to go home. I need my medicine. I'm hungry. No. There is nothing we can do. You have to wait. You have to wait.
The U.S. citizen was released hours later. That's when his family finally took him to the hospital.
Again, my dad, he's 80 years old, and he has a heart condition, and he begged and pleaded, and told him as soon as that second attack, that second push down, he said, I have a heart condition. I'm an old man. I want the ambulance. And they completely denied him and ignored him.
Rafi's ribs were left busted, both his arms have contusions, and he's struggling to breathe. He and his family are now seeking legal action against the government.
Yep, they're suing the government for $50 million, and I hope he gets every fucking penny of it. Every fucking penny. Who is being violent here? Who are the violent extremists? It doesn't take a rocket surgeon to figure this shit out. By the way, this came out over the weekend. This guy, his name is Ingersoll. He says, enough is enough. I choose violence. This is a right-wing guy writing for, I believe, the Daily Caller. And this is what he had to say. Dear reader, today I choose violence. Like, literally. I know calls for violence are generally frowned upon. Honey, it's a no-no. It's not frowned upon. It's wrong. Although it doesn't stop the right wing from saying we got to go after our political enemies. The issue is I simply don't care if it's frowned upon. Part of the social compact in this country going all the way back to its founding, there are simply some things you do not do. When you do those things, well, you might just end up with a few extra knots in your head. That is his way of saying fuck around and find out. Thus the title of today's newsletter, which, by the way, I cannot believe it's still up. And it was allowed to be published by the Daily Caller. I believe that's Tucker Carlson's outlet, if I'm not mistaken. Quote, it's all about cost, and the cost is not high enough. In some places, the cost is non-existent. We need to reinstitute a public debt for antisocial and subversive behavior. Out of the videos that I've shown you, who looks like they're antisocial? In my opinion, some of the costs need to be summarized and ultra violent. Is this a call for violence? Yes, explicitly it is. The law is not enough. Or is it non-existent? Somewhere deep down inside, we've all known no one is coming to help us. We need to help ourselves. So the government says that a city that you don't live in is filled with crime and we need to send the military in to put them down. And nobody's coming to help you. Who the fuck is in your small little rural town? Is ICE coming through and roughing you up? Knocking you down to the ground? Are they beating up your grandpa? He's talking about Steve Bannon went to prison for months. Yeah, because he defrauded a whole bunch of people a couple $1 million for the wall and then bought a fucking yacht with it. And then when was called in for a subpoena, didn't go. All of these things are illegal. Are you saying that when you guys do illegal stuff, you shouldn't be held accountable, only your enemies? Let's do Fauci next. How about that? He's definitely lied to Congress too. Then let's investigate Ilhan Omar, AOC, Barack Obama, and everyone in Clinton's world. Let's put Biden's world through the ringer. I'm fresh out of shits. So it doesn't matter if they did anything illegal or not. We're just going to go after you. The reason why Donald Trump was indicted is because he did crimes. The reason why Steve Bannon was indicted and imprisoned is because he did crimes. They're saying, we'll arrest you now and figure out your crimes later. Truth be told, I don't even care if Comey or Fauci end up in jail, as long as the arrest and adjudication process absolutely ruins them. Moving past the legal violence, let's go to the actual violence, shall we? Alvin Bragg's office dismissed a felony assault charge yesterday. That shouldn't be a shock to anyone. Nobody is even more renowned for soft or violent crime prosecutions than Bragg. This thing goes on and on and on. The message is clear. In liberal jurisdictions, it's open season on assaulting conservatives. I'm not even going to play that bit of propaganda. It's absolute bullshit. We got more. Now, I got to show you this because I feel like I've shown you so much awful stuff that you need to have a little bit of redemption here, a little bit of something to make you feel good. This is in Chicago. We started off the story with these guys. You even see the dumbass in the cowboy hat here. And they see a Hispanic, Latin-looking guy on a bike, obviously delivering food. Mind you, they're not going out anywhere except to do a show of force on fucking Michigan Avenue. This is just a photo op. But anyway, I just wanted to show you this. There's a guy right there. He sees him. Look at this fat bastard. Yes! Yes! It's like, oh man. Got us running way too hard. You guys think that you're in shape enough to run down a guy who delivers food all the time? This guy is a mover. He's a shaker, man. He works hard for his money. He delivers a lot of fucking food on that bike. You think you're going to catch this dude? I got to watch it again. It was just too good. It's like, oh shit, here they come. I'm going. Look at this guy. He's running around the little piling. And he's gone. Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has left the building. Oh God, that warms my heart with joy. It really does. It makes me happy watching that. Oh my God. Those fucking losers. Look, Donald Trump is wrecking the economy. Honestly, I almost think like he's doing it on purpose. So it's going to make it difficult for people to be able to find jobs. Companies and corporations are leaving the country in droves. Unemployment's on the rise. Inflation's on the rise. Prices are on the rise. Rent's on the rise. Groceries on the rise. Everything is on the rise. Healthcare is on the rise. And people are desperate. And you will always be able to find some morally flexible people who are desperate and need a job. And all of a sudden we have a social program of high, and let's not get it twisted, folks. ICE is a social program, just like the military is a social program. It is government funded, thereby making it a social welfare program. And we have a whole bunch of sad, tired, wannabe fascists who are morally flexible enough to put on a pair of fatigues and go into major blue cities to arrest brown people. And they're getting bonuses. They're getting their college debt forgiven. They're getting all kinds of benefits. It's hard to turn something like that down. Now, I'm not saying that you should be doing that. You should absolutely not be doing that. And everybody that's taken one of those jobs, you should be ashamed of yourselves, and you should fucking look yourself in the mirror and then go in and quit. Or stay in and fuck shit up and be subversive on the inside. If you want to continue to get paid, why don't you fuck ICE up from the inside? Make it look ridiculous like what we just saw in that video. Maybe one of those guys wasn't really struggling very hard. Or maybe he's just a fat, out-of-shape bastard who was completely outclassed by a delivery driver bringing some DoorDash. It's a lot of ugliness, folks, and it is the incessant march, goose-stepping across our nation, delivering authoritarianism and fascism. And yes, I'm going to continue to call it fascism. I don't know what else you would call this. You got concentration camps and you got secret police, man. You're using the military on American citizens. You're invading your own fucking country. I mean, is this 1935? Is this Weimar Germany? Is that what we're looking at? Because that's what it feels like. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe. Keep rocking.